Hello, and welcome to another week of Light to My Path, our 2025 Bible reading plan. This is another great week of reading. I hope you enjoyed James last week. We read the whole thing. This week, we will read another whole thing, Paul's first letter to the Thessalonians. Most biblical scholars think that this is Paul's earliest letter that we have in the New Testament, and it's written to a small church in Thessalonica of people who have left behind their idolatry and their sort of pagan Gentile ways, and they've come to follow Jesus. They've given up a lot in order to follow Jesus. It makes me kind of wonder what sort of idols, what sort of idolatry do I still fall victim to in our world? Like, what do I give my heart, my attention, my allegiance to, rather than to Jesus? We need to get rid of that and follow Jesus instead. But anyway, you'll see as you read this letter, it's a really good letter. Like, it's really warm, it's really nice, it's really encouraging. You see how Paul really appreciates and he loves these Thessalonians. It's very nurturing, actually. He's impressed with them. He's so pleased with them because their faith is in action. Like, they love others and they love one another well. And a lot of Paul's encouragement, or a lot of Paul's teaching to them, is you're doing this really well. Like, you're loving people really well. Just keep doing it more and more. Like, you're doing great, basically. So it's kind of awesome. There's a few things that he just wants to remind them of. The importance of not being involved with sexual immorality, because it degrades and it dehumanizes people and yourself, and don't get involved with that. Two is that the church's reputation in the world should be one of they're a good positive force. They're a good community where they're not causing scenes, they're not causing riots, they're not a bunch of jerks, right? But they behave properly towards outsiders, and they work hard. And because they work hard, they make enough money to support one another, but also to be generous. That's sort of like the vision of what the church should be all about in this. There's a part in the end of chapter 4 where it seems like people in the community, a few of them have died, whether it's by natural causes or by illnesses or by persecution. We're not really sure. And there's a question as to what's going to happen. Like, when Jesus returns, what about, like, what's going to happen to them? What's going to happen to us? Like we're going to be with Jesus, but like, what about them? And so Paul kind of addresses this. And this is the part in the end of 1 Thessalonians 4 where people seem to get the idea of what's called the rapture from. This idea that when Jesus returns, we believers will be like sucked up to heaven, and everyone else will be left behind. And when we read 1 Thessalonians in context, in the way that I think it's meant to be read, that's just not what's being taught here. It's actually the very opposite of that. When Jesus returns, we do meet him in the clouds. We do go up to meet him, but it's not to get sucked up to heaven to leave everyone else behind. It's actually to welcome Jesus to earth, because Jesus, we read this in the end of Revelation, is going to create a new heavens and a new earth, and we're all going to live together in a new, happy world and whatnot. So anyway, if you're curious about learning more about that, I'd love for you to come and talk to me about it. Check out the Bible Project's summary video of this. It gives a nice little quick kind of overview of this. You could also search for the works of people like N.T. Wright. He talks about this in a really intelligent, I think, founded way. But yeah, anyway, I hope you have a great week of reading. There's a lot of good stuff in here, a lot of encouraging stuff. There's some good, stuff that's hard to understand that will make you ask some questions. In the end of the letter, he says to make sure that you test everything. And so a lot of people think that you can't have doubts, you can't have questions, you can't, seek the truth. No, you're supposed to test everything. And so I love to hear your questions, your insights, your ideas about things that you don't understand, because we all learn together. I mean, for 2,000 years, people have been learning about Christian faith, learning about Jesus, learning to follow Jesus together. And so we need to test everything. Anyway, have a fantastic week of reading.